I'm rolling. This is the beginning of the second quarter of Gators versus Infamous Fireballs. Alex Merle with the ball. Passes off to his teammate Scott Holmes, who's looking for an opening around Jeff left court, and he finds one, and the goal is scored with a quick goal in the second quarter, making the score 6-2 Gators. Trevor Martin keeps the ball away from Alex Merle, passes to Colin Bennett on the sidelines. Bennett is dribbling up, trying to find an opening in this Gators defense, and he finds one, barely manages to get a pass to Trevor Martin with an amazing shot right in the corner of the goal. That's one of the finer shots we've seen today. Scott Holmes with the ball from the goal with Brendan Stryker. The score is 3-6 Gators, and Scott is dribbling up the field. He's looking for an opening, but Jeff Leftcourt has been shutting down the Gators defensively this game. Alex Merle steps in the arc for an offensive violation. No goal. Leftcourt, it's off his foot, and Scott picks up the ball, gives it to Merle, but Sophie Lexon comes out of the goal and makes a nice save. Bennett passes to Jeff Leftcourt, who has a fast break, but Scott Holmes is there to defend, but he manages to bounce it with a backhand shot into the goal, making the score 4-6 Gators. A nice comeback so far in the second quarter for the Fireballs, who are closing the gap. Scott Holmes is dribbling up. He's ready to make his next offensive attempt. Passes to Joe Zachrin on the sideline, who flips a pass over to Michael Bozay on the wing. Bozay looks for an opening, steps way into the arc. No goal is scored. Sophie gives the ball to Jeff Leftcourt. Jeff is dribbling up now, ready to make another attempt for the Fireballs offense. He finds Trevor Martin, who manages to get around Michael Bozay, but he drops the ball, and Stryker has it, passes off to Scott Holmes, who now is in possession of the ball and is getting ready to come and make an attempt for the Gators. But he's going to have trouble. The Fireballs defense has been phenomenal so far today. Holmes has trouble getting around Jeff Leftcourt, but he finds Alex Merle, who barely manages to pick up the pass and finds his way, but the shot is wide and no goal is scored. Lexon finds Nick Lepresti on the side. He's dribbling up. He's defended by Alex Merle, but he gives a nice leading bounce pass to Trevor Martin, who makes his way to the wing, but the pass is knocked down by Scott Holmes. Stryker picks it up and gives it back to Holmes, who is really making his way down the court now, and almost stolen by Trevor Martin, who can't hold on to it, and the goal is scored by Scott Holmes, making the score 7-4 Gators. But Martin has an attempt now for a fast break. He's in transition. He finds his way around Michael Bozay, but the ball is stolen, and Bozay is making away with it. Left court on the defense. Almost manages to knock the ball out of Bozay's hands, but he makes the goal. The score is 8-4 Gators. Trevor Martin now on a quick transition. This game is back and forth. Tries to dribble the ball between Scott Holmes' legs, but it's knocked down. Holmes now stolen by Jeff Leftcourt. A steal off of Scott Holmes, given to Trevor Martin with an open goal. And it's scored. The score is 5-8 Fireballs. With a fantastic steal by Jeff Leftcourt off of Scott Holmes. One of the better plays of the season so far. Stryker gives it to Alex Merle. Merle is dribbling up the court. Finds Scott Holmes. He's going to have a tough time getting an opening though. He tells Merle to come out, gives the ball to him. They're trying to make holes. Merle finds one, ducks between the defense for a score in the corner against goalie Sophie Lexon. Lexon passes to Nick Lepresti, who's dribbling, defended by Alex Merle. Gets the pass over to Jeff Leftcourt. Leftcourt finds Colin Bennett on the wing, who manages to score in the corner. A nice shot by Colin Bennett. A goal is scored. Rory, you got that one, right? All right. Making the score 6-9 Gators. Go for it.
Keep up the hustle, guys.
Scott Holmes seems confident in his team's abilities. And his shot is off the crossbar. It looked like 4 steps to me, but I mean, hypothetically.
1, 2, 3.
Well, it's 1, 2, and then the third one is the jump. Left court with the ball. Finds a shirtless Trevor Martin on the wing, who lets Scott Holmes jump around him and takes the shot. Trevor Martin is on fire in this offensive game, really helping the comeback. The score is 7-9 Gators, and the Fireballs are only trailing by 2. A nice offensive comeback by this Fireballs team, who are missing most of their starters yet still making an impressive performance against these Gators. Scott Holmes barely met.
Nick, for the record, that was not a goal. Not a goal.
What was? Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, take it back to 6. Nick, that line.
The one with Earl?
No, Rory, Jeff scored.
Oh. Jeff just scored.
Yeah, Nick, mine.
All right. The goal that Trevor Martin scored was a step in the arc and was called no goal, but Jeff Leftcourt's goal was called okay.
It's called time. Nick,
The Gators called timeout.
can we make like a Hall of Fame and put the Wolfpack in?
Yeah. The score is 7-9 Gators. Tatiana Gessling is amazing. Come here, give me a hug.
This is sweet.
You're sweet. Oh, shucks. And a truck is driving through the court. Oh my God!
Oh God, Nick!
Is Jeff leaving? Yeah. And left court is leaving the game.
Assuming he's going to soccer.
Yeah. Which means, hey, Nick, what's your last name? Obrand? Obrand. Nick Obrand is going to fill in for the infamous Fireballs. Jeff Leftcourt is leaving the game, and Obrand is coming in as the first substitute player of the season, as approved by the opposing captain, Scott Holmes. The Gators are good, and they're getting ready to call time in. Fireballs, you ready?
My body isn't. I'm dead.
Rhymes a shirtless Trevor Martin. A rare shirtless Trevor Martin.
All right, hey, you guys good to go?
You ready?
All right, both teams are ready.
Hey.
The Gators called time in. This is a continuation of the second quarter of Gators versus infamous Fireballs. The Gators are in possession and have a 9-7 lead over the Fireballs, who have had an impressive performance today despite missing almost all of their starters. Alex Merle steps into the arc and an offensive violation. But first, a defensive violation is called on Nick Obrand, who steps into the arc to defend, and a free pass is given to the Gators.
Oh my God, it's invisible.
Scott Holmes is given the ball. A save, or not a save, a goal scored by Scott Holmes against goalie Sophie Lexon, who passes up the court to Trevor Martin. Trevor's pass is almost intercepted by Michael Bozet, but it's recovered by his teammate Nick Obrand, who passes out to Nick Lepresti. Colin Bennett playing from behind, doing a good job of controlling the pace of this Fireballs offense. The ball is knocked out of bounds by Alex Merle, but the ball remains in Fireballs' possession. I'm awesome. Trevor Martin has the ball, passes over to Colin Bennett. Bennett finds Trevor Martin, but it's an easy save for goalie Brendan Stryker, who is defending from the wing.
It's just so big, you know? It's so easy to hit.
Stryker gives the ball to Scott Holmes. Holmes playing a very controlled game so far. Hey, what's the time?
We're at 6 minutes.
Okay, and you know not to stop the clock if it's a goal. Okay, yeah. Scott Holmes finds Joe Zachrin on the wing, who looks like he's wanting to take a shot, but he gives it to Michael Bozet, who finds his way, but it is an easy save for goalie Sophie Lexon, who tosses up to Nick Obrand, who is dribbling up the court, going to try to make his way around Scott Holmes, but he passes to Colin Bennett, and an exciting shot is scored by Colin Bennett, but the referee calls an offensive arc violation, and the goal is not scored. Brendan Stryker gives the ball to teammate Alex Merle, dribbling up the court in his neon. A behind-the-back pass to Scott Holmes, who makes his way through the defense, but a fantastic save by goalie Sophie Lexon. The goal is not scored. Sophie's got to be proud of that one. Hands off the ball to teammate Nick Obrand, who's dribbling up the court in his nice gray shorts. Picking up the pace now, gives a leading pass to Colin Bennett, who does not manage to get the ball, and it is intercepted by Alex Merle. Merle tries to bounce a pass to Scott Holmes, but it's picked up just before going out of bounds by Trevor Martin, who gives it to Nick Lepresti, and this is an open shot for Nick Obrand, saved by the goalie Brendan Stryker, who is having an excellent performance today. Stryker gives the ball to teammate Scott Holmes. The score remains 7-10 Gators as we as we run down the clock in this second quarter.
You have about 2.5 minutes.
About 2.5 minutes remain before the first half is completed. Scott Holmes dribbling the ball. Pace is called by the referee, Jarrett Tom. He passes to Michael Bozet, who looks for a shot, tries to juke around the defense, but Colin Bennett is giving him nothing. Scott Holmes with the ball now. Scott looking for an opening, and he finds one, but it's saved by goalie Sophie Lexon. Scott makes a pass that is missed by his teammate Joe Zacharin, and there is a fast break by Trevor Martin, who scores the goal against goalie Brendan Stryker, making it 8-10 Gators.
Time.
You have a minute and a half.
A minute and a half remain in the first half, and the Fireballs trail by only 2. Stryker gives the ball to teammate Alex Merle. Merle dribbling up the court looking for an opening, and he passes back to Michael Bozet. Merle ducks to try to give Bozet the open shot, but the shot is wide. Sophie Lexon dodges a bullet. Nick Obran passes to teammate Trevor Martin, who's taking his time walking through the field.
Try and get the last shot here.
Trying to make sure his team has the last shot with only a minute left in possession. Gives the ball to Nick Lepresti. Passes back out, trying to get to Trevor Martin, but the ball is moved forward by Alex Merle. And a shot between the legs is saved by goalie Sophie Lexon. Nick Obran dribbling up the court, trying to make the last shot of the half. Gets around the defense, Scott Holmes. And a leg is lifted up by the goalie Brendan Stryker, and it ducks underneath for a goal, making the score 9-10 Fireballs. How much?
30.
With 30 seconds remaining in the first half, Scott Holmes is going to try to score the last goal for the Gators.
20 seconds.
20 seconds remain in the first half. Scott Holmes looking for an open shot, but this Fireballs defense is solid. He finds an opening, and it's saved by the goalie Sophie Lexon, who has really been picking it up here in the second quarter.
There's 5 seconds left. So
5 seconds.
please end it.
Hey, Sophie.
Run it.
You have 5 seconds.
Just run it. Run it.
5 seconds from.
4,
5 seconds remain.
2, 1.
And the shot is wide. That is the half. And we have a very close game. The Fireballs trail by 1. The score is 9-10 Gators. Sophie Lexon getting beat up out here, but it's okay. She's used to it. Not really. That's weird.